Over the years, the Assassin's Creed series has evolved into an open-world action RPG filled with skill trees to level through and stat-based weapons to collect and upgrade. The latest offering in the series focuses on the Vikings, and I'm here to share my impressions on the game as I played up to the Raven clan's arrival in England. I'm going to try and avoid talking about story too much, although there is not much to spoil in the first couple hours of a game. However, the first few hours are particularly dense with exposition. You start the game as a young child named Ivor, where you play through a sequence where an event takes place that alters the course of your life. At this point, you're able to choose between a male or female Ivor, or a combination of both, where the game will interchange your gender on different levels, which is nice to see as an option. We quickly move forward into adulthood as you are about to be sold into slavery. However, you are able to escape, and the game takes you through a little combat tutorial as you free your fellow soldiers from capture. Combat once again follows the previous two Assassin's Creed games, with light and heavy attacks defaulted to your controller's right bumper and right trigger. Combat is once again set up like a more forgiving version of Dark Souls, with focus on evading being hit and looking for openings in your opponent's defense when you can attack. It's a satisfying system once again, and it is far better than the pre-Origin system the game used to use. Suffice it to say, if you enjoyed the combat in Origins and Legion, you will once again be happy with the combat in Valhalla. Once you get to your settlement, you'll be introduced to a couple of the other activities available as you play the game. You can have rhythm-based drinking contests. There is a Viking rap battle known as Flighting, where two poets battle each other with rhyme and cadence, which I'm sure will be fairly fun throughout the game.
Last one. So go then and conquer the world with your wit. Go be clever, be quick, show your spirit and grit. I look eagerly forward to seeing how you fare. I will flight you with flourish and best you with flair. Perfect, yes! You could destroy me with such a line.
And then there is Orlog, a dice rolling game that may not look like much at first, but actually seems to have quite a few layers of strategy to it, allowing you to re-roll dice and try to set up your offense and defense while taking advantage of God Favor cards. I don't know if it will have the depth of Gwent, but it's definitely going to eat up some time as you play through the game. Mysteries are spread around the map for you to explore and find side quests, and from the few I have done so far, they've seemed quite fun and original. One, I pretended to raid a village with a group of children, and another I helped an elderly man throw his dearest possessions off of a cliff. They were unique and fun and a good start. The game looks like it will have a lot of fun side quests. The skill tree is wide and expansive and reminds me of a simplified version of the sprawling Path of Exile skill tree. I generally enjoy exploring these types of skill trees, and points seem to accumulate rapidly as you play. Although these skill trees work best when they feel like they are making a real difference to your character, I will need to level quite a bit more before we get to see a skill tree like this come together, so all I can say at the moment is that it looks promising. I touched briefly on the modern world as well. Although these tend to be my least favorite parts of the games, other players really love them. However, I was able to quickly dive back into the Animus as my clan left Norway and headed to England, where I believe most of the game will play out. First impressions of the game are that it is solid, fun to play, and looks dense with exploration. I hope it is able to keep up this level of quality and immersion as the game continues. I also have to mention that the game looks great. The engine looks solid, everything's detailed nicely, and the lighting looks really good. So I can't tell you yet if the game is worth shelling out $60, $80 for, depending on where you are. But I can tell you that it is probably worth trying it out in the Ubisoft Plus subscription service for $19 for a month. I think you can probably decide whether it's worth it to play through or not. Plus you get access to a bunch of other games. So if you don't want to shell out the full cover price now to try it out, definitely Ubisoft Plus is an option. Alright, so give it a try yourselves. Thanks a lot.